I had a meeting with my mentor and his son. And my mentor is a manufacturer of high-end furniture all around the globe. And he started the business from zero. He's an entrepreneur, but he worked on the same business all his life, right? And the way he speaks, Kensly, it's like it's symphony. It's an instrument. Like, it's so perfect. It's just so satisfying to hear. And I told him, I actually asked his son. I said, "How do you?" Because his son also speaks really, really, really well. I said, "How do you speak so perfect?" He said, "Because like I actually did a lot of work. 2 years. It's 2 years of
practicing.
Of like putting 2 hours every week." And so yeah, I highly agree with you when you said self-development.
Yeah, Tate said it well. He says most of you wants to know how I speak well, but you never recorded yourself. Look at the record and see what mistake you did. Like what misspell you, the way you talk. Have you practiced really on your tone, intonation, all of that? And most of the kids that are looking haven't done that.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's really important because at a certain like level, you change reality. I've met and I had the chance to talk, hang around, live with people that are, extremely wealthy and they're from families that are wealthy for the last 5 generations in Quebec. And it's a different lifestyle, right? It's the lifestyle that we see on social media and all that stuff, right? And, if you don't practice how to speak like you're supposed to in front of these type of people, you're going to look like a fool, right?
Yeah. Yeah, not only that, is whatever the product you have, whether you have the best product in the world, okay? And I've said that many, many times to everyone. I've said it on social media when I was 17 years old. I said, even if you have the best product in the world, you're the best. You have something revolutionary, like something that never happened before.
Right.
But you're not able to sell it to someone and to explain that you have the best thing.
Right.
It's worthless. So communication is the best skill you can get. Not a free, I would say pay for it. Pay to get better in communication. And practice. Because the art of communication afterwards can open you so many doors in sales. And honestly, whatever you do in life, whether you have a business, whether you're in manufacturing, whether you have a personal brand, you're selling something, you're selling a service, or you're selling a good, you have to be able to tell to your client that you are the best and to make him understand that very well.
Right.
So communication is the best skill you can get. Yeah.
Right.
It's
because communication can buy you some stuff that money can't.
Yeah, it was the first thing I did. The first thing I did was to. In fact, of course you know The Wolf of Wall Street, right?
Yeah.
Everyone listened to the movie.
Yeah.
And then you do a bit more research on Jordan Belfort.
All right.
And he made a few books. And one of his books is like the exact detail on his parties. In the film, he's like a big party guy. And he has one of his books that is detailing the parties he's done and his lifestyle, how crazy it was. Then he did a second book. The second book is the straight line system. The straight line system is the system he used in order to close his clients and prospect in his business he's done when he was in his 20s. And that was actually one of the first book I've read. And I've only read 3 books in my life. 3.
All right.
It's Rich Dad Poor Dad from Robert Kiyosaki. It's the straight line system. And how to make your first 100 million from Dan Pena. Those are only 3 books I've read. And I'm not a big guy who likes to read book.
Yeah, me neither.
But I was bad in English. And I've heard that one of the best way you can learn English and be better in English is by reading out loud in English.
All right.
So I was practicing a lot. But yeah, communication is a big skill. You have to get it. That's the first thing you have to do, is invest in yourself and invest in communication. Then you can go on and do something else.
Right.
Yeah.
And what did you do exactly to invest in communication?
I didn't buy. I should have. I should have bought something. I should have. What I was doing, I was recording myself. And a lot, like probably 3 to 4 hours a day.
Really?
Yeah, and I was just explaining stories. Sometimes I was creating a story. I didn't have anything. I didn't have any experience. I didn't have any good story to tell. So I was inventing a life.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was inventing a life, and I was sitting alone in front of my camera or my phone, something like that. And I was just talking. And I was practicing my tonality, the pauses. Taking a pause when you speak is very important. So all of that, I've done it. Then public speaking is another thing. Public speaking is, again, a very useful skill that you have to get. And I've done it. Like I've brought many people into my villa in Thailand, and I was publicly speaking to them about a subject that I've just chosen. It was cryptocurrency at that time, because I knew it very well. And that's how I practiced.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, how about this? Let's leave it at that and take me years back then. You talk, you say, before we started recording, you told me that it's been 3 years that you've been following a very, very specific plan, right? Yep. But before that, before you even realized that you wanted to create a plan, where do you come from? What are you, Kensly? What's your background? Where were you born? Give me all that stuff. Like, what is your identity? What happened that made you create this specific plan?
So I was born in countryside. In the countryside, we're called Valcartier. It's like very far in the forest. And I was with my two brothers, and we come from a sport background. But before even being in boxing, we were in martial art.
Martial art.
Yeah. So my father was three-time world champion in karate.
Nice.
And since we were like 4 years old, he taught us everything about taekwondo. Actually, he was doing taekwondo, but he was doing karate tournament.
My father is also a national champion at at taekwondo.
Yeah.
He actually was so talented that he had the chance to teach self-defense for the special forces of his country.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah,
that's great. So we've learned discipline very, very young, and that was good. That was good. So being the best, not settling for the second position. With all that in mind, my father was hard on us, but it was good.
Yeah,
it was good for him, and it's always good to be hard, to live life in the hard way. It's good. So then, after a few years of taekwondo and beating everyone at a tournament, we were really the best, honestly. My older brother turned to boxing because you can't do a penny in taekwondo. You can't live from taekwondo.
All right.
So my brother went into boxing, and we always wanted a big lifestyle. We always wanted to have the jet, the yacht, all of that.
How old are you and your brothers at that moment?
When my brother turned into boxing, he was 11 years old. So I was, let's say, 6 years old.
Okay.
Yeah, 6 years old.
Very young.
And already at 6 years old, I was looking at videos of Floyd Mayweather. Like Floyd was my was the guy that we were looking to in terms of financial freedom.
Right.
But we were young kids. We were the only. I consider myself black most of the time, so we were the only black people in my small town.
Right.
So we were looking at the one guy, and it was Floyd Mayweather.
Right.
He had the lifestyle we wanted. So my older brother turned into boxing. Then my younger brother and I turned to boxing also afterwards. And we did boxing for a few years. I stopped boxing, and I went into another route which was not good, which was gaming.
Oh, really?
Yeah, big drug. It's a big drug. However, my younger brother stayed to boxing. My older brother also. My older brother turned pro when he was 19, undefeated, was top 15 in the world when he retired. We'll go through that later on. And my younger brother also, now he's top 10 in the world, undefeated also, 15-0. great career. But let's get back to me. I was, let's go into the future for when I was 15 years old. So when I was 15 years old, I wanted to become a professional gamer. I was playing Fortnite maybe 18 hours a day.
Jeez.
Yeah, I was fat. I was white, like very, very white. I was playing again 18 hours a day. So that's not healthy at all. And one time, I just died in a random way, and I raged, and I just closed my computer. I had everything. I wanted to become like a streamer. I had all the setup. Closed the computer, ran upstairs, went to my older brother, and said, Lexon, I'm tired of being poor. I want to make money. That was a click. I don't know why. I have no idea why. But in my head, it just seemed like professional gaming was on the way. And I was right. My brother gave me one book, which was called Rich Dad Poor Dad from Robert Kiyosaki.
Right.
That's the base.
That's like the tutorial. I actually gave it to my brother that is just standing right there.
Yeah, it's the tutorial. It's like the basic tutorial.
Right.
And you understand very quickly. But now it's very popular. Everyone knows the rat race and all of that.
Right.
Thanks to Andrew Tate and many other people like Robert Kiyosaki. But at first, it was like the first time I was hearing those kind of
terms.
Yeah, terms
and words.
Like you're poor, your family is poor, your dad is poor, your mother is poor, so they won't help you to get rich. They won't help you to bring you to another place, to propose you forward. So I've read half of that book because I was just not good at reading. But it teach me enough. I understood very quickly that I was in a very bad position. And I needed to do something else. And I needed to start a business or start investing in something. So in when was it? So let's do a leap forward. I'm now like 17 years old. Right. I think we were in 2020, somewhere in 2020 when the pandemic started. And we had a friend in Montreal that had a warehouse where he had thousands of masks. Like he had K9, K49, something like KN49,
right,
and other masks, like basic masks. And my older brother approached him and said, can we sell masks for you? He said, yes, of course, I have too much of them. So he said, I'll sell you like the small mask for 30 cents, the higher quality one for 50 cents, and do your profit margin. So, okay. So that was my first experience starting cold calling.
Oh, you were cold calling?
Yeah.
So it was B2B?
Yeah. So we had access to thousands of masks, and we needed to sell them. So what we thought first, okay, we're going to call childcare, we're going to call school, we're going to call every governmental institution, prison, all of that. It was my first experience with cold call, and did it very badly.
Oh, yeah.
Did it really badly. In the beginning, I was scared of making cold calls, and everyone is scared of making cold calls.
It is scary at first.
Yeah, at first. And I was maybe doing like 10 cold calls a day, which is nothing.
Right, yeah.
And after a month and a half, after calling childcare, prison, and just being said, like everyone was telling me no, I just stopped. And one of the reasons that was my first business. The reason why it failed is because I didn't have anyone, I didn't have a mentor that would tell me you're doing the right thing or you're doing the wrong thing. I didn't have anyone to tell me if what I was doing was right or wrong. And that's why we stopped. We just thought, that's impossible. Let's forget that and do something else. So that was my first business failure. And then the end of 2020 happens. And that's when we decided to go into crypto.
Right.
And that's when my life changed.
And how did that happen?
So that happened because, again, my older brother, Lexon, went to the bank, deposited a check, and wanted to buy crypto or something like that. Well, he just went to the bank, and request money from the bank, from his own bank account. And the bank said, Mr. Mathiey, why do you want to retrieve that money? And they were asking all kind of questions. And it was very hard to get that money out of the bank. Then my brother said, it's none of your business. If I want to buy drugs, what would you do? It's my money. I can do whatever I want with it. And they got really scared and didn't want to give him his money. Okay. It was his money. And the bank didn't want to give him his money.
Right.
And my older brother was really rebellious.
Right.
And
so just to clarify, it was savings that he wanted to pull out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it was savings that he wanted to put out, and the bank didn't let him do it.
Right.
So my brother was already in crypto since 2014. And he didn't know at that time that crypto could go up and go down. He just understood that Bitcoin was a currency that you could use to buy something.
Right.
And he successfully did it. At a certain time, he was able to put out all of his money and buy crypto. So he started buying crypto. The reason why was not to make money. The reason why he started to buy crypto was to have control over his own freedom, over his own financial.
All right.
So I didn't need to ask a question to the guy or to the girl on front desk to get his money.
Right, that's absurd.
Yeah, absolutely. So the first reason why we came into crypto was because we were pissed off at the banks. So now every time he was making money with boxing, he was putting his money into crypto.
Right.
Ethereum, Bitcoin, Cardano, all of that. And that's like end of 2020.
Right.
In December 23rd, 2020, my brother was saying, guys, I'm telling you, they're gonna force you to get vaccinated. They're gonna force you to get vaccinated. They're gonna force you to stay home, and you won't be able to leave the country. And everyone was saying to my brother, "You crazy? They'll never do that." Then it happened. But before that, the only people that listened to my brother was me and my younger brother, Wilkins. We listened to him. We took everything we had. I took like a governmental aid at that time that I couldn't take, and put everything in crypto, put myself against the wall, and we left. We left Canada, like on 2 days' notice. Told my mom, I'm leaving. And she understood. She said, okay, yes. And so we left to Cabo San Lucas, and then we had everything in crypto. And go look at the market from December 20, like let's say January 2021, and the whole year, well, through September 2021, the market went crazy. And at that time, we didn't do the same mistake that with the mass business. We were searching for a mentor before getting into crypto. And we had one mentor, which was called, his name was Camille Stéphane. Camille Stéphane was the owner of the boxing promotion company my brother was boxing for.
Oh, really?
And Camille that was not his main business. Camille had a brokerage firm. He had over 100 brokers at that time working for him, and he was managing $6 or $5 billion for his clients on the stock market. And he taught us everything about investing, like not doing FOMO, FUD, dollar cost average, all those. Not being a gambler when getting to a market, being an investor. Investing is supposed to be boring, not exciting. So he teaches us all of that. So when we went to crypto, we applied the same thing Camille Stéphane was applying to his client. And then from December 2020 to September 2021, we made 1,100%.
In crypto?
Yeah, so we did 11x.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's really nice.
Yeah, so we did a few $100,000 in crypto. And in 2021, we went to multiple places. So we went first at Cabo San Lucas and Puerto Rico for a training camp with Jean Pascal. I think it was Logan Paul was fighting Floyd.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that was that card. So we're in Puerto Rico in the same gym as Logan Paul, all these people. And then we went to Miami. Then we went to Thailand, and we stayed in Thailand for a year in a small island called Koh Samui. I was 17 years old. I turned 18 on that island. I was making, I couldn't say per month because it's crypto. The market goes up and down. But I made a few hundreds of thousands of dollars in crypto at 17, 18 years old. I was on the top of the world. And then on September 2021, we were going to a restaurant, and the waiter and everyone was talking to us about crypto, how crypto is great, how we should buy this and that crypto and not this one. And there's a quote, a very famous quote from the Rockefellers. They say, when the shoe shiners start to give you advice, it's time to sell. So when everyone is talking about crypto, when your grandparents are calling you and say, what is Bitcoin? Is it Bitcoin good? Can you buy Bitcoin for me? And big media are talking about crypto, it's time to sell. In fact, you're already late. So we start selling crypto in September 2021, and a few months later, crypto went down. That's when Bitcoin went down like to $12,000. Ethereum went down to like $2,000, like very, very low. But we exited before that. And we were tired of the speculation of the market. We wanted to do something else because we were 100% in crypto. We wanted to have like a cash flow, something that could bring us cash flow every month, every day. So on that island, we stayed 11 months on that island. And during that 11 months, I've learned that it was possible to buy businesses with no money. And for 11 months straight, I was just informing myself on it. And on, I forgot when exactly, but on January 2022, we decided to came back to Canada with a mission in mind. And that mission was to acquire multiple companies here in Quebec, then sell off the portfolio and leave back to Thailand. And we did it.
So that's in January 2022 when you decided to come back.
January 2022.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how did that happen?
What happened exactly?
First of all, what I want to know is why, you were making a lot of money with crypto with your brothers, traveling the world. It's the end goal of a lot of people, right?
Yeah.
It's the dream of a lot of people. Why would you hassle yourself? I mean, you mentioned it. You said you wanted to diversify your portfolio.
No, it was not
revenues.
Oh no, actually, it's because, like I told you, I always saw myself super rich, like flying private jets, having mega yachts, having everything, and I knew that crypto, like making a few $100,000 in crypto, was not going to bring me there. There's another vehicle that can bring me there. And that's actually a good question because I didn't want to retire at 18 years old on a small island called Koh Samui and just lay off over there and make a few $100,000. Nah, that was not me. I want an empire. I'm only 22 years old right now. We're making $24 million in revenue. That's not big, actually. That's not big.
All right.
But we're building an empire. And everything I do over the years is to build an empire because I want to have something to give my children.
Right.
Yeah. So that's what made me leave the islands, because I wanted something bigger. Mm-hmm. And I knew that buying businesses was the best vehicle to bring me to $100 million as fast as humanly possible. And if you look out in the history and you look at like Alexander the Great, one of the biggest world conqueror that ever existed, when he was conquering a place, was he destroying everything? Building up again? No. He was taking the nobles, the people in higher places, and he was bringing them into his team. He was not killing everyone. If he could kill less people, that would be better because the army will stay there, and he will have people over there to manage the country. So Alexander the Great was doing M&A with countries. That's what he was doing. That's why he became so big. Yeah.
Right. And but you said that it's very important to have a mentor.
Yeah.
You and your two other brothers have a mentor?
Yeah, absolutely. So in buying businesses, my mentor was Dan Pena.
Dan Pena.
Yeah.
Who's that?
Dan Pena is like he's an old guy, very ruthless, and he's screaming a lot. Everyone saw him on YouTube. Like, he has a big castle in Scotland. He made he started with like $800 and made $400 and something million in a few years, and buying businesses. Buying businesses, he bought multiple businesses, brought his businesses on the public market in London Exchange, and then he went public and made millions of dollars. And he was our mentor. He's still a mentor in buying businesses. We applied what he did with a few changes, and made me multimillionaire at 20 years old.
That's very impressive.
Yeah.
I have a question for you, Kensly. Mm-hmm. Right now, I consider myself a very poor person, right?
Yeah.
And right now, I'm creating and designing a plan that is very specific, right? And that's why I'm taking my very time to create a plan that I know for sure that I won't, that's going to stick for a while, right? And in my plan, I am going to build a business, and then I'm going to acquire other businesses. Do you consider that a waste of time? Should I not waste my time on building the business because my plan is to build a business, in the cleaning industry to 100K a month, and then go acquire 3 other businesses.
Yeah.
Create the group, automate everything, sell it.
Yeah. What I would say, it's the way you're thinking is the Robert Kiyosaki method. But it depends who you are. I don't know who you are exactly inside. I don't know how big is your fire in your belly. Because I would say that you think starting a business is the easy way, but actually is the hardest way. Buying a business is simpler. Like, it's easier, in fact. It's easier to buy a business. It's easier to buy revenue than create revenue. So I would say, depending on who you are, depending on how fast you want to go, if you have time, if you want to go the hardest way, start your own business. But then it's very hard to get out of the day-to-day. Like, one thing that I did with my businesses that helped me a lot was, not as soon, but very fast, I understood I had to fire myself from my own business because I was not qualified. And the richest people I know, what they do, they know what they don't know.
Right.
And they hire people that are just better at them. I'm not good at running a transportation company. When I bought, because I'm in transportation, I bought multiple businesses in transportation here in Quebec. And before I bought my first business, I never saw the interior of a truck.
Right.
I don't know. Today, I don't know how to put gas into one of my truck.
Right.
I know nothing about transportation.
That's actually probably funny for a lot of people. I just imagine, an old person probably watching this and saying, "How is that even possible?" I mean, this, but I have another very important question for you, right? Do you think you would have made the same progress as fast as possible alone and not with your 2 other brothers?
I couldn't tell you. But one thing for sure, it's living with boys is good. Like, living with men, it's good because we're competitive. Let's say you wake up, you have to go to the gym, and your friend is sleeping on the couch. He does go to the gym. You see him, and he calls you fat, not in shape. You stand up and you go to the gym. So living with other men is it's good. And that's what who my brother was. Like my brothers, that was their purpose. They just were bringing me forward, like pushing me forward, in the same way that you could do this with a friend. Yeah.
All right.
But my brotherhood was extremely important. But I couldn't tell if I was alone. I would surround myself to people who are hungry. Yeah.
Right. And my other questions, my other question that brought that I want to bring up. What if you had to start from zero? What would you do tomorrow? Like if right now I said Kensly, I'm like, a developer of life, and I'm removing all of your assets, including, and God forbid, your brothers, your team, nothing. You start from zero, back to square one.
No problem.
What do you do tomorrow?
What I do tomorrow? Okay, like tonight I will identify an industry which I want to go in. I would do the same thing. I would buy a business. So I would look out for an industry that is highly profitable, where the profit margin is high. That means that was a mistake we did in transportation. I want a business that if you have revenue, you're making like, let's say $1 million in revenue. After all expenses, you have at least 30% in your pocket. So let's say $300,000. Let's say the moving industry. That's a good industry. So I would then go on LinkedIn and try to find people that had moving businesses and that have sold their moving businesses and that are between 60 to 75 years old. And I would approach them and tell them, guys, I have a plan. I want to buy multiple moving businesses over the next 5 years. And I need people like you that have experience to come on board with me. I have no money. I have absolutely nothing right now. But what I can give you is a part of my dream. So what I'll do is in a few months, I'll incorporate a company and I'll give you shares of that company in exchange for your time and knowledge. I don't need any money.
Right.
Don't be concerned, sir. We don't need any capital. Adequate method of financing are already planned. I would say that to around 5 to 6 individuals. Once I have the team, I will do the same with my accountants and lawyers because it's important to have good professionals around you. And I will work on a delay fee with them. So I would tell them, I want to work with you. Well, no, that's not true. With the accountants and lawyers, I will interview multiple firms. So I will interview all the partners of the big law firms and the big accounting firms I have around my city, and I would interview them. And in a way that I would say, like, what I have in mind when I interview people, like accountants and lawyers and bankers, they are lucky if I choose to do business with them. Once I have my team, I leverage my team experience. I'm saying we have 1,000 years of experience in the moving industry. We've done hundreds of deals. And I remember doing that. I was 18 years old. So I would do the same thing over again. Leverage my team experience, build a bigger team, bring accountants and lawyers, and then I'll do the same thing with bankers. Because once you have your team, you have your accountants and lawyers all on board behind you, then you go to a banker and say,
I'm ready for war.
Like we're a group. We have hundreds of years of experience. We've done thousands of deals over many, many years. And we're just starting a new consortium. We want to acquire as much moving companies over the next 5 years. And we're looking for a bank that can support us and follow our rhythm and tempo. And I'm thinking about you. But before that, I have a few questions for you. And blah, 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 blah. I'll do interviews. I've done like over 150 of them. And I would secure a few bankers that believe in my dream, that believes in my project. And then after all of that, I will start cold calling sellers.
Sellers?
Yeah, sellers. So people that own a moving company. And I would start cold calling them day and night and trying to find the motivated seller, someone that has to sell yesterday. I would make him a lowball offer that he would accept.
Oh, really?
Yeah, an offer that he can't refuse.
So you would find someone that really has to sell.
Really has to sell. And there's a lot of them in North America. And that's one of the reasons I moved out from Thailand, is because in Thailand, you go to a seller and you ask him, do you want to sell? He says, yes, I want to sell. I'm very old, but I have 5 kids that are waiting. It's not going to be you.
Right.
Here in North America, when you approach a whole guy, like the first deal I did was an 84-year-old guy. Right. 84-year-old guy. His daughter was like 65 years old, something like that.
Okay.
She was not interested in having a train station company at all.
Of course.
So when you approach those kind of people, their children want to be in Miami, their children want to be in Dubai and other places. They want to make money online. So they use the money of the parents that worked hard. They use their money to buy Lambos and all of that. Me, I go to their parents and I say, I know your son doesn't want your business. I know your daughter doesn't want your business. You have no one that wants your business. I can take it. And I'll make sure that your employees, your suppliers, your clients are taken care of. I'm not going to pay you a big price. You'll have to let some coins on the table. But be sure that when you come back 5 years later, your business is going to be in good hand. And your team's going to be in good hand.
Right. But then earlier, you said, I'm not a good person to manage a transport company, and all that stuff. But what did you do after you bought the business? You're not the best, operational brain for a transport company.
Yeah, I'm not a CEO.
Right. But what do you do after?
Okay. So when I arrive in the business, before buying the business, I already prepare. I asked the seller to stay on for at least a year. And during that year, I say to the seller, you have to form someone that I will bring into the business. So a few months before buying the business, I make interviews with people that could take the position of the former owner for a good salary, like $100,000 a year. And then when I buy the business, I say, okay, now we bought the business, you can come on. And the seller is going to teach you how to run the business. Then, another thing.
Right.
Because most of the time, those sellers have been running the business for 20, 30, 40, 50 years. They're only at like $5 million in revenue. So they don't know the best way to run a business.
All right.
That's where it's very important to build a good team in the beginning. You remember in the beginning when I say build a great team of people that have done it before, that have bought train station businesses, or that have bought moving companies, or that have owned multiple moving businesses and have exited successfully. The reason why I call them industry experts is because you want people that when you buy a business that can go in the business and say, that's bad, that's good, that's bad, cut that off. Him, no, we don't need him. Her, hire her salary, give her more responsibilities, all of that. And I just listen to them.
So basically what you're telling me is that you're an intermediate of experts, of people that don't know their potential. You plug everything, create value, sell it, acquire it, and boom. You're basically...
Exactly. That's exactly what I do. Yeah, that's exactly what I do.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
It's really awesome. So, and I was going to get to the question that you just answered, but I want to get more detail from it. You said that you go reach out for people that are experts, that have already bought.
Yep.
And people that are excellent at managing and not just buying the company, whatever domain that you're in. Why do you get people? And you said that you were also willing to give them shares of the company. Yeah. But why do you why do you care so much for these people?
Because otherwise, what do I do after I bought the company? I don't have any plan. I don't have any strategy. I'm not experienced at all. I'm 22 years old. I want to trust someone that I've been in the industry for 50 years. That knows the up and downs of the business.
Right.
So that's why I'm willing to give, of course, I'm willing to give equity to someone. I prefer to have 70% of $1 billion and having 100% of nothing.
100%.
That has always been my mindset.
And you highlight the words that you acquired your business for free, right?
Yeah.
For a lot of people watching,
They think it's impossible.
They think that you're just bluffing.
Fuck them.
You're bullshitting.
Yeah.
I know it's possible, but I want to know, how do you do it? Because I know it's probably not easy.
No, it's not easy. Of course, it's not easy.
All right.
It's not easy. But you have to be very good at selling yourself.
Right.
I'm telling you, when I was talking to bankers, there was no way on earth that the deal can go sideways, and we have deals that went sideways. But when I was selling myself, and I was saying to the banker, there's no way on earth we don't pay you, and the business is not making money. They were believing me. So how I did is because when you buy a business, it's not like buying a house. When you buy a house, they look at your personal balance sheet and they look at your personal income. When you look at the business, they look at the business balance sheet and the business income. They don't look at you. I remember sending they asked me my personal balance sheet. I sent them my personal balance sheet. They sent it back to me saying, you forgot to complete the personal balance sheet. I said, no, I have nothing. I said, okay.
Okay.
I didn't have any credit also.
Right.
Still today, I don't have a personal credit card. I have no credit. I cannot buy a house. I cannot buy a car. My businesses can, but I cannot.
Right.
And so what I've done, I've brought a deal that stands on its 2 feet to the bank. So what that means is it's a company that, so let's say, okay, we'll run the numbers. So let's say you buy a $3 million company. The company is making $1 million in profit. Okay. So you bought the company for 3 times profit. Okay.
All right.
I'll give you an example of the last deal. One of the last deal I did. It was a $3 million purchase. Well, $5 million purchase. $2 million on closing. So let's say you're the owner. Your name is Jimmy. I said, Jimmy, I'll buy you $3 million for your business. I'll give you $2 million once we finished, like the contract and everything. Mm-hmm. And I'll give you $1 million in 5 years. That's what we call a balance of sale. Then, now your business is making $1 million a year. If together we bring it to $2 million a year, I'll give you a bonus of $2 million. That's an earnout. That's what it's called. Then you own a translation company. So I'll be owning the assets, but I want you to pay all debt you have on your trucks. Okay? So I want the trucks to be free of debt. I want the company to be completely free of debt. And you can take your cash. So then I go to the bank and I say to the bank, guys, I have a deal. I need $2 million to close the transaction. The deal in itself is a $3 million deal. So you have to lend me 66% of that transaction. Usually the bank lends 60% of a transaction.
Right.
Yeah. So they went to 66%. And then I needed working capital because when you buy a business, you need to have cash in the bank in order for the business to run. So I went to another bank, which is called the BDC, and said, I need working capital. So the first bank looked at the deal and say, by the way, an important piece. If you borrow $2 million from the bank, the payments are around 350 or 400 grand a year. If you borrow it over 7 years at, let's say, 6% interest rate. So my payments were, let's say, 400 grand a year, but the company was making $1 million a year. So I had a big gap. Like, it was very okay. I was very comfortable with cash flow. Then, if shit is
$1 million in profit.
Yeah, $1 million in profit. The company was not
profit net.
Yeah, net.
Because I'm like,
not revenue.
How are you not bankrupt? Right?
No, net.
Okay.
This one's making $1 million. In fact, $1,076,000.
Okay, nice.
In net profit.
Right.
And I owe to the bank 400 grand a year. So I'm making 600 grand in cash flow every year just from that deal. In addition to this, I'm paying back the debt every year. You call that principal. You're paying principal back, so you're getting equity. Then also, if shit is a fan, I had $2 million worth of trucks and $1.7 million worth of trucks and trailers. That's what I had. So the bank looked at the deal. They said, okay, you're making $1 million in profit. You owe us 400 grand. Yeah, that's pretty comfortable. Even if your business goes down a little bit, you'll still be able to pay us. And if shit is a fan really hard, you have $1.7 million in asset. So we'll do a write-off of 300 grand. Yeah, that's a very doable deal. And I've took that deal. That's how you frame a deal. That's how you frame a deal. And I pitch it to a few bankers and say, is that in your appetite? And I had a few bankers coming back to me and saying, yes, I'm very interested. Then I said, okay, you're interested? Send me your offer. What's the term? And then I was getting offers from the banks, and I just played with them saying, this offer is better. Can you compete with this? Of course you can compete with this. Coming back with a better offer. And then we signed on one, and we did the transaction. No fucking cash down was necessary. And the reason why no cash down was necessary is because when an owner postpones a payment for 5 years, you call that advance of sale. The banks see that as equity. So I don't want to lose everyone in the words and all of that, but that's how I did it. It's complicated, it's hard, but it's doable. It's easier when you have money, of course.
Right.
But it's doable.
You told me that, I'm better off instead of building the business and acquiring other business.
Yep.
I'm better off of buying one right now.
Yeah.
Which I agree with you. But how soon would I start making money? Because I know if I start building and growing my business, I can actually, get some money to, even live, whatever. How soon can I actually start using the business money to live off of it?
As soon as you become owner.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, as soon as you become owner. As soon as you become owner, you have access to the bank account. And the company is making money. So when I became owner, on June 12th of one of the last transactions we did, $1.1 million every year in profit, 400 grand transferred to the bank, and the rest, I can play with it.
Right.
I can buy watches, I can buy cars.
Like an M8 competition.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. That's awesome. And I go back to the other question because I think it's very, very important. And, it's basically the brain and the skull of the business. Again, the team, the team that you organized in the beginning. Yeah. You say, I had my team. Who are these people? Are they just experts at selling the business and managing it? Or do you got other people? And how do you convince these people? Because you told us, how do you convince banks to lend you the money?
Yeah.
But how do you convince these people, which are very needed, to actually work with you with zero money?
Yeah. You'll be surprised how easy it is to get them. Because most of the time, those people are retired. Nobody's asking them questions anymore. Nobody's asking for their attention anymore. So when you get on the phone and ask between his golf tournaments, I need your help, they give it to you. Honestly, They give it to you very easily. And the team I had the chairman of the group. The chairman of the group was the president. And the president needed to have the biggest resume possible.
Okay.
Then I was looking for a former partner of a big accounting firm, the Big Four accounting firm. So you have Deloitte, PwC, you have KPMG, and you have Deloitte, PwC, KPMG. I forgot one, but you have another one.
Right.
Those are the Big Four. So I was looking for a retired partner of a big firm. Same thing for the lawyers. So I had the chairman, an accounting expert, a legal expert with regards to M&A, so buying businesses, someone that was making the contracts, that was planning legally how the transaction is going to be done. Then I was looking for industry experts. Most of the time I was running the board with some industry expert and a former investment banker. So someone that is really, that knows banks very well.
Right.
That can help me with negotiating with the banks.
Right. And like you said, all of these people are retired.
Yeah, they're retired. They're already financially very well.
All right.
So they don't ask you for money. And when they ask you for money, you say, go fuck yourself. And it built me a good character. Like, it built me a great, ruthless character doing M&A. Because you have to say to a lot of people that are very wealthy, go fuck yourself. I had to do it multiple times.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah, and sometimes you have like a billionaire. You're talking to a billionaire saying, I won't name his name, but he's very big here in Quebec. And I spoke with him. I'll tell you the name after. But I spoke with him when starting the business. I wanted him to be my chairman, and he said, you should go back to school. Yeah.
I got 2 guesses of who it is. I'm pretty sure I know who it is.
They're very, very, very big. Like they're very big in Quebec City.
I know who it is. I know exactly who it is. And I've heard a lot about the same attitude from this person.
Yeah.
It's probably Garneau, right?
No.
It's not Garneau?
No.
Oh, really? Okay. I was sure at 100% it was him. Another question. How do you find this chairman, right? Because the chairman is going to be your intrapreneur. He's going to be your entrepreneur, right?
Yeah.
How do you find this person?
LinkedIn. LinkedIn is a very
really?
powerful. Yeah, LinkedIn is a very powerful tool. Or Google, actually. What I was doing is was looking for the biggest businesses. I had a list of 300 businesses, the biggest businesses in Quebec, and you have Bombardier, you have IGA, you have all those big businesses, and you write on Google Bombardier headquarters, who's the president, Eric Martel, okay, call, dring dring. The lady respond, and you say yes. I'd like to talk to the person who fills the diary of Mr. Eric Martel, because I was always talking to his assistant, and then to his assistant, I was saying that I sent a letter to Mr. Martel. I just wanted to ascertain whether or not Mr. Martel had read that letter and how he found it. So and they were telling me. Didn't have the time to read it, but I'll make sure he reads it. And when I was hanging up, I was sending flowers to the girl just to make sure she does it like for real. And it worked. I spoke to all of them. And it's pretty easy.
Now then you put them as president of the company.
Of the company. And you have to, when I say it's easy, it's because I've practiced a lot. I practiced a lot saying what I wanted to do, because when they look at you, the first thing that comes in their mind is, I don't know him. What is he gonna do? Is he doing drugs? Is he gonna tear down my reputation?
All right.
That's most of the time what they're more.
Of course, because in a realistic scenario, if you see, especially in Quebec, where it's rare to see very young, successful people, they're probably going to look at a 20-year-old that is going to tell them, hey, quit your job, risk your life, because that's how they view things. Come work for me and, for my new company that I just acquired.
They don't quit their job.
Oh, they don't quit.
They're already retired.
Oh, so you look for people even for the president?
Yeah.
So you get a president that's retired. Well.
That's the best, yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's the
How
best.
come?
Because they have time.
Okay. But you still pay him. And you don't pay them. You don't pay them a dime. That's the problem. That's the problem. Everyone has some preset settings, like we have to pay them. No, I don't pay them a fucking dime. And when they ask me for money later on, I fire them. Okay.
I fired CEOs of billion-dollar companies. Me, I was 20 years old. No, you don't pay them. You give them equity, right?
Okay, but you still give them something. Because, how is he going to live? Like, let's say if he
how
doesn't
they gonna
have
live?
funds.
They get If the guy doesn't have fun, I don't want to talk to them.
Right.
He's a chairman of a multi-billion-dollar company.
Right. Okay.
He doesn't need your money.
Right.
That's the kind of people I was looking for.
So you get those people.
Yeah, I get
put them to
those
manage.
people.
And give
They don't manage on a daily basis. They just suggest things.
Right.
To
No, but I'm
my
talking
general
about the
manager.
president. You say you put a president in place to manage the business.
Oh, yeah, but no, that's not a retired person.
Yeah, that's the person I was talking about.
Okay.
Yeah, like the person that actually works in the business, not the.
You don't call them president. That's why you call them a GM, like a general manager.
Okay, because the person that you called president, for me, they're like a.
They're on my board.
Council, like
Yeah.
yeah,
You call that a board.
yeah, like a council board,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
But the president, how do you find that dude? How do you find that?
The
guy?
general managers or
the general manager.
Oh, the general manager. You find him on LinkedIn.
LinkedIn as well.
Yeah, LinkedIn as well.
Okay, and you
do
look
a
for
post. You do a post. I'm looking for someone in the moving industry. I can pay you. I pay you between $70,000 to $80,000 a year, and you have like 40 people applying, and you interview them
All right.
with your industry experts.
All right.
Yeah.
That's excellent. And what's your plan for the future right now, Kensly? Because it makes me very curious. Like, how ambitious are you? Right. Right now, you're 22 years old.
Yeah.
Right. Like, I don't know if you publish this information or if you want to go public, but you're gonna move and you're gonna go back to Thailand in a couple of days.
Just for fun. It's like a vacation.
All right. Okay. So you're not moving there.
I'm going on vacation there for like 6 months.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna ask you back my question. What are you gonna do for the future? What's your plans for the future?
Like I'm not even excited about my future. Like I said, it's like I said, I always knew that I wanted to become a multi-billionaire, and I know I'm gonna become a multi-billionaire.
Billionaire or millionaire? Billionaire.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm already a multi-millionaire. I became a multi-millionaire 2 years ago.
Right.
So in the future, now I'm going in Thailand because here it's too cold. Taxes are too high. I'm not interested in that. And I'm going to a warmer place where there's fruits coming out of the trees. And just got a kid, a son. So I don't want him to be raised in the cold place, disgusting place like here. So I'm going to be there for 6 months. Then I'm going back to, not going back, I'm going to Africa.
You're going to Africa.
I'm going to Africa.
Right.
I'm going to do the same thing I've done here, but in Africa.
Right.
Now I have capital, so it's easier. But there's so much big opportunities in Africa. And Middle East and Africa.
Okay.
Yeah, those two.
Do you got a country? Like a specific country?
Probably going to be in South Africa.
South Africa?
Yeah, but I'm going to be moving around a lot
Right.
in private jet.
Right.
Yeah.
That's very interesting. That's really cool. To be honest, Kensly, you're the first 22-year-old multimillionaire that I met. I met a lot of millionaires.
Yeah, they're all boring.
Billionaires.
Guys, it's very easy to become a millionaire, by the
Right.
way. Because being a millionaire today is not like being a millionaire 50 years ago. 50
Right.
years ago, you were a millionaire. It was the equivalence of being worth like $300 million today.
Right.
Today, just an old guy that has an investing account with a bank and has a house is a millionaire. It's not impressive.
Right.
But why I was saying that?
Because I said that you were the first 22-year-old multi-millionaire that I know personally.
Yeah.
I know billionaires.
Oh yeah, that's what I was saying. I was saying that the millionaires I know are all boring.
Right.
Yeah,
They're old.
They're
especially
old. They're very old. It's not impressive at all.
Right.
I've spoke to people that are worth hundreds of millions of dollars, and their grandfather was impressive. Not them. Not at all. They're nothing compared to me. I sound bragging, but I really feel that way.
Right.
That's why I really feel that I can take over the world.
100%.
Yeah.
I believe in you. I think you inspired me, inspired probably a lot of people. I think your personal brand is going to be very crucial, especially, I think you got a lot of things to say and a lot of things to teach.
Yeah.
And a lot of things to show, to inspire people. Just like you said, a couple of hours ago, I was talking with a friend right here just before we came here. He was talking about his business and everything. And I told him, honestly, Nathan, if you want to get rich now. And that's my biggest problem right now is time. It's time. My biggest fear is wasting time. Because like I was going to say, Kensly, if you buy your first supercar or if you finally reach financial stability and financial freedom when you can't even get an erection anymore, it's too late.
Yeah,
it's really too late. It's worth, for me, I'd rather just stay broke and live a down life than become rich when I'm fucking old, right? For me, it's worth nothing. Right?
Yeah, I know.
So,
I know some people that are being like multimillionaire in countries like Canada. What are you doing there? What are you doing there? It's cold.
All right.
It's cold. The taxes are crazy.
Yeah.
But I find that most multimillionaire and billionaire that I spoke with here in Canada are just all like Biden voters.
Pardon?
Biden voters.
What does that mean?
And people that vote for Biden.
Oh, Biden voters.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Yeah. So they're probably brain dead people.
Yeah, they're brain dead people and their wife is controlling, like their wife is a male alpha.
Right.
Yeah.
We don't support that.
I don't support that at all.
Personally, I have no respect for a man that
absolutely not, yeah.
His wife takes him by a leash.
Yeah. And that causes a lot of problem for the kids, for the family.
It creates an imbalance in the family for sure. Right.
But that's good. Because then afterwards I go take the piss of their parents.
Right. Yeah. It's good opportunities for us.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm going to leave it at that.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Kensly, for coming.
Pleasure.
It's a pleasure to talk to you. And thanks for coming.
It was a pleasure.
And thank you, man. Thanks, guys.